1969 Dodge Charger RT with a 426 Hemi in black. It's Muscle Car of the Week. Back in 1969, Dodge had an ad campaign called Dodge Fever. And when you look at this car, you can see how people would be stricken with Dodge Fever. Today we're looking at a 1969 Dodge Charger RT with a 426 Hemi under the hood. And one of the neat things about these cars is the overall shape. This is a very large car. It's got a monolithic, kind of blocky looking shape to it, especially when you see it in black. This thing is big, it's wide, it's long, it's very imposing. And the RT package was kind of a special high-performance version of a regular Dodge Charger. They made about 20,000 and change RTs, but only 432 of them had the 426 Hemi under the hood, and out of those, about 225 were automatic transmission, like what we have here. The RT package had special RT badging on it. It got the owner a pair of bucket seats. It also had a stiffer torsion bar front suspension. It had heavy-duty rear springs. It had heavy-duty brakes, even though those were still drum brakes. And this car also came with a 14-inch wheel with a red stripe tire as part of that RT package. This one is in black, and in '69, the Dodge colors were not quite as crazy as they soon would become in 1970. So the color palette was available in 18 different colors. We think this car looks the best in black because it's just sinister when you look at this thing. When you first look at this car, it looks like a giant box, but get a little closer and you start to see some curves. The back of the car has a real subtle bow that kind of pinches in at the front of the door, and then the fenders have a secondary bow, so it's kind of got that Coke bottle styling, and they highlight it by putting a pair of reliefs just to the front of the driver and passenger door. It adds some speed lines through the side of the car and gives it another element of style. I mean, it's very complex, but again, you step away and it's all very simple. Perhaps the most exciting thing about the car is the 426 Hemi. Of course, that Hemi engine has two 4-barrel carburetors sitting on top. It's a 10 1/4 to 1 compression engine, bulletproof bottom end. It's designed to be a free-breathing car. Those hemispherical cylinder heads took in gigantic amounts of air and, of course, pushed it out through dual exhaust, making 425 horsepower at 5,000 RPM and 490 foot-pounds of torque at 4,000 RPM. It's kind of funny to think that the very base model Charger came with a 225 slant 6 when you're looking at a Hemi car. But this thing as a Hemi could either be bought with the Torque Flight 727 3-speed automatic like this one has, or a 4-speed transmission, and this one has a 350 rear gear and back, but there was a couple different gear ratios available all the way up to 410s. It came in about 3,650 pounds, so it wasn't anywhere near as heavy as some of the full-size cars of 1969, which could easily cross 4,000, even 5,000 pounds, but it wasn't as light as a Cuda or a competing Camaro or Mustang. I think it was, you know, right around the same weight as a Chevelle, but it's longer than those cars, so it has this appearance of being much heavier than it really was. This Charger platform is a pretty big car, and it's very comfortable. This one has bucket seats, but no console. It's an automatic car with a column shift. The gauges in the dashboard have numbers and not just the low and high. It's got an AM radio with a factory 8-track player. It's got a clock with a tachometer, and it's a power window car. So you could get in this and drive it comfortably long distances very quickly. Other things in that RT package were special steering wheel, and you could also get an SE on top of the RT package. SE standing for Special Edition, and that got you things like leather seating surfaces in the buckets. But this one here is just black on black on black and completely bad to the bone. This car is just covered in cool little design details, even down to things like the fuel filler door here in the quarter panel. This just looks like you're waiting for the pit crew to jump over the wall, pop this open, fill you up, and get you back on the road. Very cool stuff. We mentioned the Dodge Fever ad campaign of 1969. If you look through the literature on this car, the sales brochure said this is a car that you don't have to sacrifice everything you own to get one. Well, if it's one of 432 Hemi 69 Chargers, you got to sacrifice quite a bit, which is why we're lucky to have time to see these cars in the Brothers collection, and we like to share with you too. This Hemi Charger showing 53,642 miles on the odometer. That's a lot of street fights. You can see more of this car on our website at musclecaroftheweek.com. Our Facebook page will let you share this with your friends and spread it around on other Mopar sites because people are going to want to see this car. And go to our YouTube channel and subscribe so you don't miss any episodes of Muscle Car of the Week.